Assalamualaikum, ladies and gentlemen, and colleagues from UGM. On this occasion, I will present the results of my research entitled Organizational Performance by using EFQM Excellence Model 2020 and FISHBONE diagram analysis at the XYZ Government Institution. Before going to the material, let me introduce myself. My name is Puguh Wibawanto. I'm from the International MBA Batch 80. And in this research, I was supervised by Mrs. Rika Fatima. In the first part, I will present an introduction starting from the background that underlying this research. This research started with XYZ's Equipment Division, which has the task of providing procurement consulting services to XYZ work units that located in the regions. XYZ work units need procurement consulting services because they procure a lot of goods, including office stationery, furniture, and or the procurement of buildings or building renovations to support their operational activities. The procurement of the building itself is carried out by XYZ work units, especially by units that do not have their own building. Therefore, to ensure the success of the building procurement process, the XYZ Equipment Division has provided the units that offer procurement services to XYZ work units. And in order the consultation service can run smoothly, its employee is expected to have competence in terms of delivering materials, politeness, fairness, and giving clear and valid data. After the service process is carried out, in order to measure the level of performance of the employees, XYZ Equipment Division conduct a satisfaction survey for the procurement consultation services. And the result is not good, which is there a decrease in the satisfaction level. And to tackle this issue, this organization should maintain its service quality so that the procurement process at XYZ work units can run smoothly and without obstacles. And one way to maintain it is to measure service performance so that the organization can identify which areas are good or still need to be improved. Based on that issue, the researcher formulated the problem starting from the decrease in the level of satisfaction of XYZ work units, which indicates that the performance of XYZ's Equipment Division still doesn't meet the expectation of XYZ work units. And from the formulation of the problem, the researcher then formulated a research question, research objectives, and research benefits. The research questions are: what is the current performance of the organization in delivering procurement consulting services? And what are the causes of lower performance in this organization? Then, the research objectives and research benefits can also be determined based on that research questions. In this research, the research object is the XYZ's Equipment Division, which is based in South Jakarta. The topic studied is organizational performance, specifically the performance of the XYZ Equipment Division that in charge of providing procurement consultation services. Questionnaire participants are coming from employees from procurement subdivision 1, 2, and 3. And the framework to be used is EFQM. The framework to be used are EFQM Excellence Model and FISHBONE diagram analysis. Moving on to literature review section that start with the explanation of organizational performance and customer satisfaction. The way to define public sector performance is by knowing the process of the service itself and assessing the service by the community. And after that, the community will know whether they are satisfied or not with the services provided from the evaluation they do on the service they receive. Then, related to procurement consulting services, based on regulation from the National Procurement Board, procurement consulting services consists of regulation interpretation services, supervision services, procurement assessment services, and advocacy services. Meanwhile, related to the definition of total quality management or TQM, TQM is an approach to management that is defined by a few guiding principles or fundamental ideas that represent how the company should function, and if properly combined, it can guarantee excellent results. Next, one of the framework for implementing TQM is EFQM, which is a comprehensive management framework that designed to assist organization in achieving long-term success. By focusing on continuous improvement, this framework consists of 7 criteria from purpose, vision, and strategy to strategic and operational performance. The second framework is FISHBONE diagram analysis, which is a follow-up to the results of performance measurement by EFQM. And this framework used to identify the causes of organization's lower performance. This framework consists of 5 categories, which are material, machine, man, method, and environment. Next, in the third part, is the research method, which begins with an explanation of research design. In the research design, it is stated that this research uses a quantitative descriptive to analyze the current performance of the XYZ equipment division and identify the causes of the areas that still need to be improved. Then, from the research data, it consists of 2 types of data, which are primary and secondary data. In addition, the data collection method is by distributing questionnaires and utilize internal documents and conducting interviews with selected source person. And the research instrument for this study is a questionnaire adapted from another study that using the FQM framework. And the questionnaire will use a Likert scale from 1 to 5 with values ranging from very disagree to very agree. After the questionnaire results are obtained, an interview will be conducted. And regarding analysis data method, this research will use EFQM framework as a tool to measure performance by calculate the score of each criterion. And in addition, when the final score by using EFQM has been obtained, then the performance recognition can refer to the number of stars earned and the profile in which the organization is placed. In summary, the more stars obtained, the better the performance. The next step is to use descriptive analysis to profile respondent data, and after that, documents from the organization are utilized to complete the result of the questionnaire analysis. And finally, FISHBONE diagram analysis is used to conduct interviews to identify the causes of declining performance. Next, to the fourth section, namely research analysis and discussion. From the questionnaire that filled out and submitted by 37 employees of subdivision 1, 2, and 3, the analysis is conducted and the result is all of the 7 criteria receive a percentage of above 90%, with the lowest is 91.2% and the highest is 92.8%. The This data also revealed that the three of the criteria had lower scores than others. Next are the results of the FISHBONE diagram analysis on the three criterion that receive a lower EFQM score compared with others. The first criterion, which is the purpose, vision, and strategy criterion, especially in developing transformation plans, have meant and method that causes the lower performance. Moreover, the next criterion, which is the driving performance and transformation criterion, particularly in the delivery of procurement consultation service using modern technological resources, have machine, method, and man as the causes that lower the performance. Finally, the last criterion, which is the strategic and operational performance, particularly in measuring the effects of transformation on performance, have material and environment as the causes that lower the performance. Okay, moving on to the discussion, the three criteria score lower in the FQM, indicating that there is still room for improvement. This is in accordance or aligned with the research result of Sutova, who found that indicators that need to be improved in the three criteria include planned activities for transformation that require stakeholder involvement, the use of the latest technology, which still requires more investment, and the impact of transformation initiative on performance. Furthermore, from the FISHBONE data analysis, the causes of the lower performance of the XYZ equipment division for three criterion are include the absence of employees specifically assigned to do the job, the number of employees whose work period is less than 5 years and need time to adapt, and internet network limits in organizations, and significant distance between work units, and a data collection process that takes more time due to the work unit's large workload. From the list of causes, it shows that it is aligned with the example of causes that affect its categories that mentioned by Korniasi and Liliana. Okay, the last part is the conclusion, which will first explain the conclusion of the research. The conclusion of this research is that XYZ's equipment division received a total score of 917 out of maximum of 1,000, which shows that this organization, especially in providing procurement consulting services for goods or services, has achieved very good performance at the level of world-leading performance with 7 stars. Apart from that, there are also criteria that are good that still need to be improved. Moreover, the influencing factor that causes lower performance of three criterion include from man or machine or method or material and or environment, which is different for each criterion. Next, regarding manager implications, the research findings indicate that the organizational culture and leadership and stakeholder perception criteria are advantageous for XYZ's equipment division and should be preserved in delivering procurement consulting services. Moreover, by employing FISHBONE diagram, XYZ's equipment division can identify the causes of the three criteria that require enhancement. This enables the division or this organization to undertake these necessary actions as suggested by the analysis outcomes derived from the FISHBONE diagram. Finally, the limitation of this research consists of the limited of the experience of the source person that led to restricted replies. The situation occurred because after the interview, it was disclosed that two supporting source person had limited participation in procurement consultation services. Moreover, regarding future research should include all criteria, not just the lower, and can use additional quality evaluation tools outside the FISHBONE diagram analysis to enhance the scope of the study. And that is all Thank you for your attention.